Alright, what is up guys? JB Dev here. I'm back again with a new video. So before I get started, I really want to thank all the people on our Flutter Dev over in Reddit for giving me a lot of good feedback on a post I wrote about deciding to use Flutter. Read this first. I'm going to go ahead and leave that link down below if you guys want to check it out. And also don't forget to like, subscribe, and if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, just leave a comment down below. So for this video, I'm going to be talking about a few things as a developer, the app that I'm making, my workflow, and a few takeaways that I wanted to expand a little bit more on this video. Since I can't really write it all, it's easier for me to explain it on this video. So first of all, what is Flutter? It was a little hard. It was a little bit hard to answer that. So first off, what is Flutter? So Flutter is a open source UI development kit created by Google. If you've ever heard of React Native, then this is probably the best competitor. So the reason I chose Flutter over React Native is because I see more potential in Flutter. So since it's relatively new, they are constantly updating and upgrading dependencies, which could lead to a few code errors. And like I said in my last video, a lot of people don't like Flutter. They say it's a baby programming language, but I totally disagree. I don't think that Flutter is a baby programming language. Just because a programming language is easy to use and interactive and easily accessible for everybody doesn't mean it's a baby language. But that's just my opinion. So before I leave this topic about Flutter, I want to go ahead and mention, like I said, it is a very new programming language, so they're constantly upgrading and updating dependencies. So I highly suggest that if you start working on a personal project in Flutter, back up your code, please. Do me that solid. All right, so for the second thing I wanted to talk about is my app. So I'm probably gonna display it around here so that you guys can see a little bit about what I've been doing. So basically, to expand a little bit more about the app that I'm making officially, it's a fitness app for a gym. The gym's name is Acropolis Fitness, which is some Greek place. If you're into Greek mythology, you probably know about it. But it is a fitness app. So my suggestion is, if you want to make an app on Flutter, just try to look for those categories that your app could fall into, and try to not imitate but learn from the other apps that have already been made, since you'll learn a lot from that. For example, the app that I wanted to make was I wanted to make an app for the gym, but as we can see here, the gym apps do fall into different categories like nutrition, fitness, or tracking, and it can get a little bit more complicated. That's why I suggest, if you are interested in making an app, like I was saying, so if you are interested in making an app, I think you should do a proper research first. So like I said in my last video, before I started programming the app, I did do a lot of research and I did a lot of mock-ups. I did a lot of mock-ups. My handy notebook here. So this notebook is filled with all the ideas and content that I programmed. And last but not least, when you're making an app, just try to look for a proper market. Like, if you want to make it and just put it on the App Store or Play Store, and just you have a group of people that genuinely enjoy your app, that's great. I fully endorse people doing what they like, not necessarily because of the money, but you do need the money. So I'm gonna get that into in a bit. But like I'm saying, if you're gonna make an app, just try to look for a proper audience, so to speak. Try to target an audience, which I think is personally important when you're making like a video game app or a fitness app like I am, or any other type of app. You do want to take into account the people that download your app. You want to make a user experience. You want to make them feel like the app, like they want to use your app. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't just want to make things work up to a certain extent. You want to make them work and make it nice looking. So after I'm done programming the basic layout of the app, making a few features available, my experience for publishing the App Store was kind of a little bit weird. I was able to use TestFlight to publish my app in beta testing. Only the gym staff have the app for now, but I do plan to make it public, and I do plan to make an app that's like general for everybody else, not just people that go to that gym. But like I was saying, some of the road stops that I had to go through when I was making my app. So for the developer, you have to, so if you want to make your app available, especially for iPhones, for iOS users, you do have to buy a developer account, which is like $100, I think, more or less. That's without taxes, which is kind of a bummer. But if you put a lot of work into it, you'll probably be making that money back in ad revenue, or maybe deals or endorsements that you'll do through the app. My suggestion is sometimes you gotta invest a little bit for you to get something out of it. One of my examples would be my setup, my computer setup. So I did have to get a MacBook Pro so that I can program it and make this app available for iPhone users. Even though I did start on a Windows device, I did have to change to a MacBook Pro. You don't have to do that necessarily. You could do it. You could probably do it without a Mac, but it is very helpful for you to have Mac so that you can identify the bugs that you'll potentially have when you publish this app on iPhone. All right, so my takeaways from this are Flutter is completely free to use. You can basically run it on any computer, and it's pretty accessible if you want to start programming apps. I've seen people make video games out of Flutter. I've seen people do professional apps. I've seen a lot with this Flutter framework, and like I said, it's completely free, so I highly should suggest that you check it out. There's a couple people that do this professionally, so I'll probably link them down below on the video so that you guys can see more professionals using Flutter. And one last advice is that it's really good to have different types of programming projects in your portfolio. So for example, if you're an HTML developer or website developer or any other type of developer, you could probably make a really easy app using Flutter and just put it in your resume. Remember, when you're a programmer, your resume is everything that you do. All the small little projects, no matter how big or small, you can put those on your resume. For example, I did a website for a good friend of mine, Gaming Art Productions. So basically the website that I did for him was for him to it's basically his portfolio. So you'll see most of his projects over there, and he's gonna keep updating and keeping you guys updated on that. And if a game company or something like that wants to team up with him, they can just go to his website and see everything that he's done. And I highly suggest you guys do that too, if you're into programming, of course. So before I go ahead and leave you guys, I do want to talk a little bit about Monday motivation. So I was talking to my friend Gaming Art Prod, and I said an excuse. It was hard, but after I realized that I was putting out excuses, I went ahead and did this. So I was talking to a buddy of mine, and he recently watched my last video, right? So I was talking to him, and unknowingly, I did what I was not supposed to do. And I'll show you what I did. So now it's time. I guess I gotta do it. So, just so you know, I'm gonna be doing a little warm-up, but I gotta do it. I gotta do it. I am a man of my word. I'm gonna do it. Wish me luck.